In the middle of a wheat field that was once popular in the English countryside during the 50s, a boy no more than 10 was running. His short and lean physique was hidden by an oversized coat and a brown bag over his head. Let's call him Satan. As to the people who knew him, that's all they saw him as. He stopped for a moment to catch his breath, but he never got a chance. He saw a familiar oil lamp, its beam breaking the night and the wheat stems. He jumped down and hid. Satan looked at the lamp. He held his breath as the owner of the lamp, his father, revealed himself. He had on a hunting coat with a hunting shotgun to boot. His father looked around, his eyes following the light of the lamp. The blast of the shot blew a hole in the wheat field. Satan was still as ice, despite his racing heart. His father slowly walked past Satan, his boot nearly landing on his head. Some time passed before Satan dared to rise. For now, the only source of light was an old wooden farmhouse, and with nowhere to go, he made his way to the house. Through the window, he saw two farmers in an old, moldy chair, watching television. It was too dark for Satan to see their faces. He opened up the window and slid through, creeping on all fours through the room. "Why can't you look as pretty as those women?" said the male voice from behind one of the chairs. "Why can't you provide like those men?" said a female voice from the other chair. Satan paid them no mind as he slowly opened the door to the kitchen. Inside the dirty and bare kitchen, Satan found the pantry was a sack of raw potatoes, which he ate like a feast of sweet cakes, unknowingly making noise. "Is a kitty throwing a tizzy?" said both voices. Satan rushed inside the pantry that was too small for him to fully fit in. The farmers slammed open the door. Footsteps vibrated through the wooden floors. Slowly, one of them reached the pantry. Satan saw them through a sliver in the door. The man was wearing a bloody sweater with the face of a disgruntled pig. The woman was round with a plump face that was covered in greasy hair. Satan held his breath. The man whacked the door shut. "When are you going to get a job to fix this house?" the man said. "When are you going to finally teach the kids some discipline?" the woman responded. The two of them walked out. Satan heard them climb up the stairs just as he collapsed out of the pantry. His coat was stained with his own blood from the inside handle of the door that was slammed into him. He limped his way into a small, tiny, and tight restroom and searched around for any medication. He found some in the cabinet, just as some kids' screams echoed throughout the house. Satan tried to focus on the pain of the alcohol and the medication on his open wound rather than the sounds. To him, they were less painful than the screams that reminded him of his father. He never knew why his father hated him. His best guess had something to do with his deceased mother. but that was just speculation. He still heard the screams in his mind even after they stopped. After a while, the sounds of the television snapped him back to reality. He packed up as much medication as he could carry and creeped out of the bathroom. His body was on the ground, slowly climbing up each of the steps. Unfortunately, one of the steps had a creak. "Will someone like another smacking?" yelled the male. Satan quickly got onto his feet and ran up the stairs, entering one of the rooms. Inside were two children. They were twins of 8 years, but due to non-mergement, they looked like 6. They hugged each other. Frightened of the stranger in front of them, Satan reached into his coat pocket, pulling out some bandages, and slowly reached out, patching up the hesitant twins. He gave them a hug after all was done. He noticed that the clothes was torn and damaged. He looked around and saw the only thing was 2 broken toys. He told them to wait as he walked to the main bedroom. It was the opposite of the kids' room. It was nice, clean, and had an actual bed. He searched around for a needle and thread, too distracted by his searching to notice the noise he was making. He gave them a hug after all was done. He noticed the clothing was torn and damaged. He looked around the room and saw the only thing in was 2 broken toys. He told them to wait as he walked to the main room. It was the exact opposite of the kids' room. It was nice, clean, and had an actual bed. He searched around for a needle and thread, too distracted to notice all the sounds he was making. "What the blazes can we make such a racket?" both voices said from downstairs. He quickly ran into a closet, shutting the door tight. The 2 adults ran up the stairs. One went into the children's room, and the other went into the bedroom. Satan held his breath and stood as still as a statue. He heard footsteps walking around the room, searching every nook and cranny, until the light came through the door. He saw the yellow eyes behind the greasy hair of the woman. "Burglar!" She squealed like a mouse. Satan pushed her away, dashing out of the room and practically flying down the stairs. He was back into the living room and nearly out of the house through the open window when something caught his eye. He saw a news broadcast. The Korean War. Soldiers shooting one another. He walked over there, mesmerized, practically seeing the blood turn red on a screen that was black and white. He stepped closer and closer, fascinated by the swift violence. He was in front of the television, just staring into it when he noticed something he didn't notice before. A service rifle. One from the Great War. He took it down and checked the magazine. It still had some rounds left. The man came down into the room, rushing towards Satan. "Did you kill that bloody intruder?" yelled the woman. She came into the room, her eyes widened in horror as she saw what the 10-year-old boy did to her husband. She fell dead on the ground. The boy and girl came in and saw the dead bodies of their parents on the floor. Are they really dead?" said the girl. Satan nodded. The twins hugged him, knowing the nightmare was over. A knock on the door interrupted the long embrace. The twins opened the door to see it was Satan's father. "Are your brat's parents home?" the father said. No, sir," said the boy. "Have you seen my son? He's wearing a brown bag to hide his hideous face." He's in the living room, sir," said the girl. The father grabbed them both. "If you two are lying, I will not hesitate to kill you both." He walked inside to find his son with a rifle aimed at his head. He barely had time to process before his life was nevermore. With the third body on the floor, Satan moved his paper bag. His face was swollen with a black eye, and he had some missing teeth. But it was all overwritten by an inner light that was finally free.